Okay, so in the second video, I will discuss about some queries that we are going to write. You can see, I will just share my screen before anything. Here we are. This program I showed you in my first video, and now you see another one where exactly the same thing we will do. But remember the word result set, which I told you. Result set is a very important word here. Without which I think the definitions of fetch all, fetch many, I guess you know these functions. Still, I will just try to cover them towards the end once. Just see this query once. I just wrote a query here. Look at this. Parameterized query. Fine. Now, in a query, if we want to leave something, some values will be left onto the user. What I mean to say, like there is a database HIRS. I will show you the structure of HIRS also. And there is a table under it called student. Fine. If I write select star from student, you will understand what I mean. Here is the student table, some students and their city names are given. Now I just want to write a query through Python programming that I would like to see the students, those who are from Kolkata, fine. And that too also, say another condition I want to put, that's the students, those who scored 90% and above. I'm interested to know about them, fine, or 89% and above. So in that case, look at this, it will show only the last record, Aziz, M whatever, house number, percent is 90 and Kolkata, right? The other one that is Arup, here, the first one, 87%, that should not come. Because two conditions I'm going to put, city will be equal to Kolkata and percentage will be greater than or equal to 89%. This was exactly a similar kind of question I gave you in assessment 2. Okay. Now let's see how exactly we need to solve. Fine. So look at this. I took a connector here, this thing, the connection object MC, which establishes a session of connection between Python interface and the MySQL software. Again, I just tested out the connection, but in this program, obviously it is not mandatory. I just wanted to check if the connection is fine. So I left the line as it is. You can omit this line also, no need. Now here I created the cursor object. C is my cursor object. Okay, how did I create that? Connection object MC dot cursor function. So that creates a cursor object. Now through this cursor object C, I will execute all the MySQL commands. I told you this in my previous video. Now before I performed that execution of the MySQL commands, what I have done, I asked user that you input the city name, which city you want to filter. Okay, you want to filter by which city, and what is the marks that you want to talk about. So marks is an integer here. I mean a numeric figure here. I have to see the structure what I exactly have done. So I took the integer value for the marks and I took a normal string value for the city. Right. Now, what you have to remember, we have to go back to the notes. For the parameterized, for the parameterized query when you're doing, remember this, I wrote it in a different note. So I'm just showing it to you. What you have to do is you have to write the query, and in the query, it has to be always F percent F, imagine, is my query, and percent you have to write a V. V is the values, fine, values which are supposed to be there, which are supposed to replace the query. Not very clear, I know. Look at the example. I think that this will make very clear to you. Look at this. What I have done, I have written here a string here, str, and here I'm writing the command, SQL command. Select star from student where city equal to. Look at this here. I did not write the city name. I wrote here a parameter. So this is called the parameterized query. And I put percentage %s within a pair of single quotation mark. So when the command will be executed, what will happen? This percentage %s will be replaced by a value. Which value? The value which you will provide. And obviously this will be replaced by the values, by one of the values which user has input. Okay, because user will select the city, right? And look at this, I joined another condition and percent greater than percentages. Whenever you write percentages, anything that you want to be replaced, that is represented by percentage S. Now, city is a non-numeric field, so this percentage S has come within a pair of single quotation. See this carefully. And the percent value is a numeric field. Okay, it's a numeric value. So here percentage S is written just like percentages. So this difference we have to remember. Okay. Now what I will do, I have to write here percent. Now after this percent sign, we have to provide a tuple. Okay, we have to provide a tuple. What is the tuple made of? The tuple is made of the two values which user has passed, so CT and MK. So what will happen, in the order you wrote the percentage S, in the same order you have to write the values here. So if I write here CT, this first value CT is going to replace this percentage S when the query will be executed, and this MK will replace this percentage is the second one. So as a result, what will happen? Whatever the city value you have put, say Kolkata, that will replace these percentages. And what are the marks value I will input, that will replace these percentages. So the query, the command will be a complete command. So what did I do? This is your, what I was showing in the word screen. This is your F. Okay. Percent, we write a tuple. The V I was writing there, F percent V. So V is the tuple. Fine. So now if you do it, this is my complete string, and then look at this, I wrote c.execute cursor object.execute that str, that entire string I will write. Entire string means that entire command, fine, right? Write that complete thing here. And then again I used, look at this, I told you that whenever you execute any SQL command through execute function, we get a result set. That result set will be now in the cursor object. Cursor object will have that entire result set. So cursor, like we see, the cursor moves one by one character, or one by one record when we move vertically. Exactly the same thing happens here. If you take a result set, then as if there is a cursor which can move, record by record. So that is what basically is done here by these fetch functions. When you do fetch all, that means you access all the tuples which you got in the result set. And if you write here fetch one, then only the first one, whichever is available, that will be accessed. I will come back to this point later. So now data, this particular variable will have that complete list having all the tuples present in it. That means entire result set will be here. And what will happen? Then I will be able to fetch all the thing one by one by using this the elements of the list, because we saw that the tuples becomes the element of a list, and this k will give you each and every tuple, which will satisfy obviously the two conditions. So look at this. If I run this thing, then what happens? As I was telling you that I will write Kolkata. Look at this and say enter the marks. I put 89. So look at this. It showed only Aziz. It did not show the other thing. Like we saw here that there are two records where the city name was Kolkata, but since Arup, that percentage was 87 below the criteria, so it did not get printed. So this is one of the ways you can do by using percentages. This is one format. And the second format is very simple. In the second format, what we can do is we can put a curly bracket. Okay. How do we do that? Let me close this file and open another one for you. I just happen to type that out here. Let's take this one. Okay, this one might be a little, let me open another one. In fact, this question also I gave you in the thing, in the question. Okay, this is the one. Look at this. Here also we have done the same thing, that city and marks. Again, the same program I wrote in a slightly different format, but I did not write any percentages now. What did I do? I wrote here city equal to a curly bracket. So curly bracket, when you write, that will be also again replaced by the parameter value. So here, what is the format? Here the format is first you write the complete command, okay, which are to be replaced, okay, which you want replaced. Those items should be represented by the curly brackets. Rule is again same. Like look at this CT. I'm expecting a non-numeric value to replace this curly bracket. So I used uh, single quotation mark here, and percent equal to a curly bracket, which is to be replaced by a numeric value. So I did not give any quote quotation mark. This end quotation is to complete the command. Okay. After this, you got to write a function called format, and within format, as a parameter, you have to write all the values which you want to replace those curly brackets. So here I want CT and MK to replace the curly bracket in the order they come. So CT, this CT, they will this will replace the first one, and MK will replace the second one. So that is how it is working. Okay, so here also, if we do it, we will receive the same result. The rest of the programs are exactly similar. There is no difference. Only thing is, I wrote here the curly bracket. Fine. If you remember, I will just open a question which I gave you. At the very beginning of the paper, I gave you a question. Like here, look at this. If I don't know who got this set. A query string has been formed to execute a MySQL command from Python application as follows. Here, look at this, st was given. How can you set up the same by not using %s? That was the question number 10. So I wanted to know if people know the second rule, that is to use curly brackets. But here, unfortunately, there was a small error in the question, which I realized later. Look at this carefully. Here I'm supposed to pass two values, the mirror, and the second one was a numeric value as per the thing. Now here, what should have been there? Like look at this. The first one was the non-numeric. So these percentages should have come within a pair of single quotation mark. Second percentages should have come without single quotation, but I actually mixed up here. The question was wrong. Fine. So this was the second way of doing it. In another set, the similar thing can be done by using named arguments. This question was also there in your assessment 2 paper in one of the sets, where I asked that how named arguments are used to set up a parameterized query. Okay, so this example I will just show you now. Look at this. I already wrote here for you. What happened here? Again, rest of the programs are entirely similar. There's no difference. Here also I input the city and the marks. But what did I do? Look at this. I wrote here city equal to, where city equal to, look at this. Here I did not put the curly bracket blank. I wrote a particular name here, city. So this is what is called the named arguments. How is it going to help me? We'll come to know. And the second condition also was percentage greater than. I did not write only curly bracket. Once again, I wrote marks here. Fine. Now, since city was, I'm expecting here non-numeric value. So look at this again. I embrace the whole thing within a pair of single quotation mark. And the second one, since I'm expecting here a numeric value to come and replace it, so I did not write any single quotation mark here. And these two values, CT and MK, which user has input, these two are to replace those. We can also call them placeholders. Placeholders means something which should be replacing them. So this CT, look at this here, how it is advantageous for us. Here, since we wrote the name CT, I wrote the CT will be replaced by the value CT, and marks will be replaced by the value MK. So you can directly write these names equal to value. So here it doesn't matter that CT I have to write first. I can write the other way around also. For example, if I change it and if I write marks equal to MK and CT equal to CT, other way around if I write, there will be no difference. Result will be same. Fine. Because you are providing them with the values. The exact name is tagged along with the values. So it doesn't matter. We don't have to maintain a particular order here. But it is compulsory if you're not writing them as named arguments. These two things you have to remember. Fine. Now I will discuss, let me end my video here. I will discuss one more question which I gave you in as part of assessment 2 paper. That is insert command, how to execute insert command there, right?